Hi guys, welcome to my first installment of my sports talk podcast show without a name. We'll name it. We'll figure out a name for it. But I want to start off addressing a couple of things I didn't like. We're going to talk. Well, first off, we're going to be covering weeks 1 and 2 of the NFL, along with the game last night, the New England Patriots versus the New York Jets. It's no secret I am a New England Patriots fan, so we'll get to it. We'll do a division breakdown, who so far has impressed me in each division, what I'm shocked about in each division, and if you see me look over to the side here, I got a whole computer screen of notes so I can try to stay on topic, because I have ADHD and I will ramble if you let me. So, I plan on if it sounds funky, I apologize. I am using the Lenovo Think Plus headphones. It's not sponsored. I just really like these. So I plan on getting the microphone I can put on my shirt. Maybe it sounds a little bit better. It has the own condenser mic in it, and it has its own condenser. Until I get my setup fixed, then we will knock it out more professionally, podcast wise. But for now, this is what we're rocking with. So bear with me. So here we go. First off, NFL hip drop tackle. So for the past 2 weeks, we've seen 2 players utilize the hip drop tackle. We've seen 2 players injured by the hip drop tackle, not severely injured, but hurt enough to where they cannot come back into the game and compete. I do not want to say the NFL doesn't. It's not seeming like the NFL cares. They probably do. But so far, after this has happened, there's been no fines, there's been no suspensions to the hip drop tackle, there's been no repercussion for these players using the hip drop tackle. Even if it's just a measly fine for these guys, it's a $5,000 fine. Even if it's a $5,000 fine and a 2-game suspension, I mean, it's something. It shows that you're enforcing what you put into a band. So it's just one of those things that infuriates me as a fan, and it's like I don't understand why you want to ban something. I mean, I understand why you banned it. You banned it because of the injury to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews last year got suffered a gruesome ankle injury from a hip drop tackle, and then the NFL banned it. So far, they focus more on the offensive lineman lining up a little bit behind the center, not even much. It was called it was called 9 or 10 times in the Kansas City Chiefs game in week 1. It was called over 20 times in college football over the last, and the thing of the week 2 of the college football, it was called over 20 times. That whole week. If somebody comments can tell me if I'm wrong, that's what I'm guessing. From everything I've read, watched, it seems like everybody's saying it's in the 20s in college football wise, and then you had 9 times in the 9 to 10 times in the Chiefs Ravens game, which that was a hell of a game in week 1. All decided by toe. But again, if you're gonna have something banned, enforce it. Don't ban something and then 2 players use it, and then there's no suspension, there's no fine, there's no nothing. There's no flag in the game. Do something. Show us that you are standing by your ruling. So, anyways, I'll get off that subject. In week 2, we saw a pretty gruesome. I wouldn't say gruesome injury. It was a standard hit between Damar Hamlin and Tua Tagovailoa, with Tua sustaining yet another concussion. Personally, at this point, I think Tua needs to think about his family and his brain health more than the game of football. I get that I'm glad he's consulting with concussion doctors. Almost as concussion doctors. I think he also needs to consult with neurologists as well to get an accurate. Sorry, my eye allergies keep my eyes just freaking going, dude. But I think he needs to see a neurologist too. Go see a neurologist on all of these concussion doctors, just to understand it a little bit more. I honestly think he might need to retire, because as much as I love the game of football, I love it, and I played through all high school. I didn't, unfortunately, wasn't good enough to go to college or anything like that. So, but again, I love this one. I love it. I love trying to figure out what other teams are doing, offensively, defensively, trying to break it down. I love it. It's like playing human chess, but physical, and yeah, you get the point. So again, if he decides to retire, where does that leave the Miami Dolphins? Well, might leave the Miami Dolphins unfortunately in the right place at the right time with what's going on in Carolina. We've all seen what's going on with the Carolina Panthers benching Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. Me personally, I think they should have kept Bryce Young behind Andy Dalton last year to learn. And kind of like what New England is doing with Drake May. You bring in a veteran quarterback who knows a certain system, who is a system quarterback. You let the rookie learn behind him, and then maybe the next year or in late during the season, you let the rookie play. You take the veteran out and let the rookie in, barring any injuries happening beforehand. So I want to start off by saying how I think that if this situation was to happen, it would almost make sense for the Dolphins to take this hypothetical trade. So go through the season. Not sure about Tua. If he does retire now, maybe you make the trade now. There's quarterbacks out in the free agent market. Carolina go out and sign a Tannehill or I think PJ Walker's out there in free agency. He knows the Carolina system. Bring him back in as a backup to Andy Dalton. So I mean, you got people out there that probably know the Carolina quarterbacks that have gone through Carolina that might know the Carolina system. But if Tua decides to retire, say this week, next week, if the Dodgers say, hey, look, man, one more hit and it could cause permanent damage, and you might not remember anything. So Miami might be in the right place at the right time to get a trade offer in and get a deal done for Bryce Young. Now, Mike Daniels was famously quoted for saying, I like fast players. If you watch any Bryce Young's stuff from college, he's got a little speed to him, not a lot. At Carolina, behind that offensive line, you got a lot of speed to get out of that situation. Because that offensive line needs some work. So maybe Carolina somehow pulls off a trade, gets a couple draft picks, and then the rest is a little extra draft pick in. maybe they might not get a first rounder for Bryce. Sorry about that. My allergies are killing me. You might not get a first round pick for Bryce, but you definitely gonna get like a second or third. And maybe you can finagle it to get another. Maybe you can finagle it to get a player. Maybe you take a later round pick and try to get somebody like Bradley Chubb, a player that is not in the prime of his career, but that's not on his way out. And you're probably like, Steve-O, what are you talking about? Carolina has Shaq Thompson, Jadeveon Clowney. They got, sorry, I thought I heard Doc Allen for some reason. It's TV in the other room, just randomly turned on. Oh, there she goes, balking now. But they got all these linebackers that are veteran linebackers. Why would you bring in Bradley Chubb? Well, I bring in Bradley Chubb because Bradley Chubb is not just another linebacker. You could bring him in as a linebacker and drop Jadeveon down to edge rush, or put him at Chubb at edge rush, and Jadeveon keep him at linebacker. Etor Gross Meadows is probably one of my favorite names to say in the NFL, but I think he could be a heck of a defensive player for the Panthers. I think he could be a good defensive end. But again, this could be the right time, right place, right time. Bryce Young could have a resurgence in Miami with Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, I think, still there. You got Waddle, Hill, you got pull up. Let's see. You got Waddle, you got Hill, you got, I mean, you got all these guys. I mean, you got a ton of talent. You got OBJ's down there right now too. I mean, you got, I mean, you got players that are going to be, I mean, you got players that are there. It's built. It's built there for a young quarterback in case something was to happen. I mean, it ain't hard. I mean, it's not that hard to see that. What Mike McDaniels has done with that team is incredible. I want to say that some plays you need to design for Bryce Young, if you are a coach, or plays that get him out of the pocket and don't let him build time to see plays build out. And you got Tyreek Hill, Wall. You have the fastest receiving core in the NFL. Again, the fastest receiving core in the NFL. So, I mean, they're either going to get open before the line breaks, or he can roll out. He can build time to one of them gets open. Miami's offensive line would be a tenfold improvement to what Carolina has. I would almost rank Miami's offensive line up there like the Dallas's offensive line. Dallas gives Dak like 2, 3, 4 seconds in the pocket to make a decision to throw the ball. It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible what they've built in Dallas. It's incredible what they built in Miami. They build that line, and then they've built the players around him. So, I mean, again, Carolina and Miami could be in both the right place and the right time to aid each other. It just all depends on what Tua does. I mean, if he retires as soon as Miami, it's a business. The NFL's a business. I mean, feelings aside, you might be a diehard Tua fan down there in Miami, and you might get your feelings hurt when they when Tua retires and then they replace him so quick with a trade for Bryce Young, or if they go out and they sign Ryan Tannehill like that. I mean, it's just it's crazy to think that some of these players' fan bases get so loyal to them that whenever you thought of getting replaced, just enrages them, and they end up leaving that organization, the fan base for that organization. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on Carolina's situation, the Tua situation, the hip drop tackle situation. So now I'm going to move on to my division breakdown of what I see going, what I think so far through week 1 and week 2, divisionally. I don't think I've left anything out that I've wanted to talk about so far. Oh, my knee. Let me check my notes. Again, this is my first time doing anything like this, so bear with me. You're going to get an unedited, raw clip of me checking notes, making sure I just want to be authentic with you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thought I had something I could like. Okay, alright, so the division we're going to start off with is the AFC East. That is going to be, I'm going to start from the last place team and go to the first place team. That's how I'm going to do it. And I might keep this format where I talk about weeks, do 2 weeks at a time. If that's something, if y'all either want to do it weekly, let me know in the comments. If you'd rather let me keep it this way, or do it 2 weeks at a time, again, let me know in the comments or like the video. Just let me know. So here we go. We're going to start AFC East. New England Patriots at 1 and 2. I'm not surprised. If anything, I thought we'd be 2 and 1. I didn't think we'd be the Jets. I didn't think we'd be the Bengals. I didn't think we'd be Cincinnati. I honestly didn't. But that surprised me. We beat them by 6, I think. It's been a while. I don't remember. So, again, without Broadmoor, and we just lost Javon Bentley to a torn pectoral muscle. We'll have to find that next man up. A linebacker, Keon White is doing his thing at defensive end. He's getting blocks. He's getting back there. I mean, our defensive line is solid. It's just that secondary, and our secondary. I mean, our cornerbacks and safeties are solid. Right now, it seems like we go down with that one linebacker. It happened last year with Judon. We went down with Judon and Christian Gonzalez, and it's just that's like that defense just we deflate like we did with the Colts and them. Anyways, we get off the flaky stuff. Next is Miami at 1 and 1. Again, we know the situation there. They'll probably be 1 and 2 out of this week. I don't think Skylar Thompson's the man to get it done. Unless they bring in Tannehill. Tannehill, again, knows the Dolphins organization. He played there for freaking forever, man. I think he was drafted to the Dolphins. I could be wrong again. If I am, comments. Fact check me in the comments. The Jets, I think this is going to be the Jets and the Buffalo's division, depending on what happens in Miami. I think the AFC East title game will be Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen. Last night, oh my God, my allergies are killing me, man. Or sorry, not killing. Fuck it. Last night in New York, we saw the Aaron Rodgers of old. Like, we saw old school Aaron Rodgers get out of the pocket, extending plays, running with his feet, sliding. I mean, we've seen stuff Aaron Rodgers didn't do much into his last few years in Green Bay. Much of his last years in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was a pocket passer. He stayed in. He might have scrambled once or twice, but he pretty much stayed in the pocket. And then you got Buffalo. Bills Mafia. Probably one of my favorite fan bases to talk about amongst friends and other people. God, you gotta love the Bills Mafia. They do, for as much crap as they give other teams, they do so much freaking good. I think, what was it? Not before the Damar Hamlin situation up there. I think I want to say it was a running back. There's another running. There's a running back for, I want to say, Cincinnati. No, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was a running back or receiver, but something happened in the family to that player. And the Bills Mafia rounded up a ton of money, man. Like well over 4 or 5 mil on GoFundMe for that family. Again, I have nothing but respect for Bills Mafia family, for the Bills Mafia fan base. I love the Bills organization. I think it's a storied organization. I think Josh Allen will be the quarterback. Mark my words, he will be the quarterback to bring a Super Bowl to Buffalo. I know the offense and defense is just gelling so good. I mean, oh, sorry, I think. Well, I had to take me in Zizal or Fudger. What is the Mucinex? Here in a minute, once I get done with the video. Let's move on to the Land of Confusion division, which is now known as the AFC. Well, it's AFC North. I'm gonna call it Land of Confusion, because how the Cincinnati Bengals and the Ravens 0-2. Like, that's mind blowing to me that a team of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry on it is 0-2. So I guess that means the players don't make the team. Defense wins championships. Cincy, the one thing that concerns me about Cincy is that Joey B was seen like doing this, like turning his wrist and doing this, so people say he doesn't have a lot of grip or throw or like feeling in that wrist and hand. If that's the case, that's concerning for them. Again, they got the Jamar Chase situation. He took out $50,000, I think $50 million or $40 million like insurance on himself for this season. I don't think Jamar Chase will be a Bengal next year. Probably more likely to be a Kansas City Chief, and they'll be a four-time world champion. Nay, Kansas City. So that's what I am. It's so hard to think to plan that out. Maybe Cincinnati and Jamar Chase come together and they get a big contract, get a contract figured out that gives Jamar what he wants. So now Baltimore. This is the team that I've been telling people that they need to fear. That the read option from Henry and Lamar Jackson should be feared. They're 0-2. That defense, I don't know if it's the defense, I don't know if it's the offense. I just don't know with them. I can't tell you what they're missing, what they're not missing. I mean, because it looks like on paper, looking at the roster, it looks like a pretty well-rounded team. It looks like a pretty organized team. I mean, you got one of the best coaches to ever coach in Jim Harbaugh. Give me just a second. who is probably one of the better defensive coaches in the game, and offensive. I mean, he's a pretty well-rounded coach. So I don't know what they're missing. I think they missed that big receiver. I don't know. Cleveland's 1-1. I expected this. Deshaun Watson is on his way out. Hold on one second. I think Deshaun Watson's on his way out of Cleveland. I don't think he's going to be there much longer. They already came out and said there's not a protection clause in his contract this year. Deshaun's not playing that well. Deshaun, again, that was a mistake. That was a Cleveland Brown thing for Cleveland to do. And then you got the Pittsburgh, oh my God, our quarterbacks are fighting in training camp Steelers. So with Justin Fields at the helm, and I don't know if you take Justin Fields out, they're 2-0. A quarterback that was not good enough for the Chicago Bears, the Bears, is 2-0. Right now, they're the only undefeated team in the AFC North. So I mean, it's just, I mean, shocking to me. And then coming up on AFC South, the AFC South. We got Titans, Jacksonville, Colts, and Texans. Will Levis making mistakes that he shouldn't make. He's smarter than that. Cost him 2 games in a row now. Might need to be investigated if he's gambling on the team or not. Oh, no, excuse me, gambling on the team or not. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Tennessee, don't hate me. I think once he gets his head on his shoulders, I think DeAndre's still hurt. I don't think I seen him last week. A little bit I watched. Because where I live, I don't get every game known to mankind. I don't have the $500 and something Sunday ticket because F that price. Again, I think they're a receiver away. One good receiver away from being a great team. Not a great team, but being a playoff team. I think they need one good target. Jacksonville, I don't know, man. You got the quarterback, you got his best friend, the running back, you got Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, you got Evan Ingram, who is a linebacker's nightmare to cover. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if the Trevor Lawrence is having a confidence issue. I don't know if it's a coaching issue. I don't think so. If it's a confidence issue, Trevor Lawrence needs to figure it out. Mac Jones is going to be a quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars soon. Indianapolis, again, Anthony Richardson, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, again, got some good weapons on offense. It's just not clicking right now. Defensively, I don't think they're clicking. They've allowed 45 points over the past 2 weeks. So either defensively it's not clicking, or they need to look for, I mean, maybe it clicks later on. Maybe it clicks this week and they go on a run around the table. This one should have been expected. I think this is probably this team for having the year they did last year. I expected them to be 2-0 coming in. Is the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. I mean, they got the veteran running backs, Joe Mixon in there now to go along with Dameon Pierce. I mean, Dameon Pierce was already a force last year. Again, that team, it's a young team led by a great, good young coach and D'Amico Ryans who understands defenses very well. So I mean, they're probably out of the AFC probably one of my favorite contenders. I'll watch them any chance I get. CJ Stroud might be my fantasy quarterback, so I might be a little biased. So yeah, now. Oh, we're gonna move on to the AFC West, and then we'll get into the NFC. So AFC West: Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers. I would not. If you were to tell me that with a rookie quarterback Denver would be 0-2, I'd tell you right. And no, I mean, they don't have no receivers. I mean, no matter how hard Cortland Sutherland tries, no matter how hard Bo Nix tries, when you don't have that big threat receiver yet on offense, you can have a run game all day. I can stop a run game. I can make you one-dimensional and make you throw it. And you just gotta, and Bo Nix can throw it. Bo Nix is probably the best quarterback in this rookie class, besides Drake May. But like I said, Bo Nix. Hold on, buddy, be right there. Bo Nix. Hold on 1 second, guys. Be right back. 1 second. I probably should have done this as a live stream. But no, Broncos, I don't think have that big threat at receiver, so unfortunately that's where they're at. Las Vegas, again, don't know what their situation is. Maybe it's quarterback. I don't think Gardner Minshew takes you to the promised land. I don't know. I don't even think Aiden O'Connell takes you there. You got a good defense. You got a good offensive line, running backs, decent receivers. I think it's all down to quarterback there. You got a good coach in Damon Pierce, so I think they give them a good quarterback. I think Raiders could be there. Kansas City and Chargers are 2-0. Chargers had an easy run off the beginning, starting off with. I remember who they played first, and then played Carolina. The Raiders. They played the Raiders, and then they played Carolina. So, I mean, that's not too bad. Herbert's hurt this week. He's game time decision. He's his foot again. Kansas City Chiefs probably going to be a Super Bowl contenders out of the AFC West. Probably a Super Bowl champions for the third time. I hate to be quick on it like that, but This is what it is. I mean, that's AFC West. It's either going to be It's Kansas City or nobody in AFC West, basically. Sorry, Raiders fans. Sorry, Broncos fans. Sorry, Chargers fans. It's AFC or no. It's Kansas City or nobody. All right, NFC East. This is going to be a shot. This is going to be a fun one, especially if a certain West is watching. Anyway, New York Giants 0-2. Danny Dimes ain't Danny Dimes. It's time for him. I think it's time for the Giants to move on. I mean, you've given I don't call him Danny Dimes, I can't remember his last name. Daniel Jones. You're getting Daniel Jones every opportunity to succeed so far. I mean, who knows? It might be the coach. It might be McBubbo, McGoo, but yeah, it's just one of those things. The Dallas Cowboys. Again, if there is a certain West watching, man, I kind of apologize for saying this. You lost to Derek Carr in the New Orleans Saints, and their division is one away. I want to talk about that division, and I want to talk about that team. I mean, y'all came out, y'all won your week 1 game. I was expected. How do I get to the... How do I get to the week... I want week 2. I want week 1. Full schedule, there we go. So y'all came out and beat the snot out of who? Like 7 cookies. Nom 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 nom. Cookie. Yeah. As expected, y'all came out and beat the snot out of the Browns. I think y'all come around and get the snot beat out of you by the New Orleans Saints. Holy brother and blue Batman. In my opinion, that was probably the worst I've seen the Dallas Cowboys play. Other than besides when they play Green Bay in the playoffs. They can't stop the run. Now, I know you're going to agree with me when you see this. You probably agree. Dallas can't stop the run. It didn't look like they could stop the pass either. It didn't look like they could stop much of anything last night. The night when they played New Orleans. So while I do believe Dallas will be my favorite to win the NFC East, because Eagles don't look like the Eagles, and I honestly don't think the Commanders can hold a light to Dallas. But unless they do unless the NFC does what the Saints did to them. And I doubt McCarthy and I guess it's Mike Zimmer. Let that happen again, because that's a one-way ticket to unemployment paradise. Is getting beat like that every week. And they just didn't have an answer for Derek Carr. They didn't have an answer for Alvin Kamara. Looks like they didn't have an answer for a lot. I don't know if there's any injuries I need to be made aware of. I'm sure if you're watching, you'll let me know if there's any injuries. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's healthy. I couldn't imagine Vander Esch being gone made that much of a difference in that team, defensively. In the middle. If so, then I could see that being one reason maybe. So, but at least you're tied for first. I mean, that might be a thing. That might be a consolation prize. Because the next two teams are also 1-1, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Eagles without Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, sorry. At center, I don't think really I mean, they're good. They're still a good team. Nick Sirianni's still a decent coach. It's going to be working through this first year without him, figuring it out. I think the center they got right now is still pretty athletic. Not as athletic as Jason was, but again, we'll see. Washington walking with a young quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Once he gets familiar with the offense, gets comfortable, settled in, I'd give him another year or two, maybe another year, a year at the least, to kind of get the hang of the NFL style. And Jaden Daniels might be something to mess with. It might be a force to be reckoned with. NFC North. All right, another team that I'm excited to talk about because of another certain somebody that's closely related to me is a fan of this first team I want to mention, the Green Bay Packers with Malik Willis at quarterback. They are 1-1. I will say that if Jordan Love does not get hurt against the Eagles and is able to lead that drive, the final drive, the Packers are sitting at 2-0. They're up there in Minnesota. Chicago is 1-1. Dear God, I don't know how. Caleb Williams has not impressed me much. I think it's been more reliant on their defense and run game. The quarterback needs to show up. Like I said, Caleb Williams, again, it's 2 weeks. Going on 3. Last night started week 3, but he has not impressed me. So, again, I'm not counting them out, but I still think this division comes down to the team I'm about to mention next, and maybe Green Bay. So that is the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions suffered a setback last week, losing to I know who they lost to. Let me pull it up. Gotta love computers and instead of having handwriting notes. Lost to Tampa Bay by 4. Tampa's a good team this year. The Baker's been doing some good things. Like I said, I think Detroit bounces back and they will destroy whoever they play this week. I don't know what ghost. That must be the ghost of Randy Moss. Randy Moss ain't dead. It must be, but there must be a hologram of Randy Moss or something out there that Sam Darnold was seeding and throwing to. But he's dead. To have the Minnesota Vikings 2-0, well, he's got Justin Jefferson. He's got J.J. Jetts at receiver and Jordan Addison. I mean, what else do you need? And Ty Chandler at running back. You got Aaron Jones at running back. So, I mean, you got a good 1-2 combo receiver, 1-2 combo at running back. Again, another really goodly built offensive line, great defense. Holy crap, I went into a Mel Kiper impression right there. So I think Minnesota, like I said, I don't think Minnesota holds on to 2-0. I think Detroit, I think this division comes down to Green Bay and Detroit. NFC North will be Detroit probably winning it. Fun division time, NFC South. Okay. Panthers, Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints. Panthers will probably be your drafting at 1 or 2 this year. So Shedeur Sanders, Colorado. Get ready for the nice Carolina weather, buddy. You're coming here. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes out. Who knows? Ewers from Texas was playing pretty well. He got hurt, so we get to see. Arch Manning play this Saturday for Texas, so I'll be watching that game. If y'all want me to do some college stuff, let me know in the comments below too. I don't mind recapping college football either. I'll only recap big games and NC State games. Go Wolfpack. So like I said, Panthers 0-2. Like I said, they'll probably win a couple now. They got Andy Dalton at the quarterback. Big Andy Dalton fan. By this time in Cincinnati, I think he can lead them to at least. I mean, if they're not going to be drafting one, they'll probably be drafting like 3rd or 4th, maybe. So, Panther fans, you have something to look forward to. Falcons and Kirk Cousins. Oh, Kirk Cousins. That's a flip of the coin with them. It depends on what Kirk Cousins you get on offense. If you get the Kirk Cousins that you know Kirk Cousins can be on offense, this team should run the division. Because they got all the freaking talent in the world. You got Bijan Robinson. You got Kyle Pitts, Drake London. You got all of the freaking talent in the world on offense. Defensively is good as well. It's just who knows? Maybe Michael Penix might be the future for them. If Kirk Cousins does not show up and be the Kirk Cousins we all know he can be, like he was in Minnesota for the past few years, maybe Atlanta does make it to the playoffs. Maybe they win the NFC South. I mean, I don't know. This is the flip of the coin with them. It's a flip of the coin with which Cousins you get. Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. Which I have mad respect for Baker Mayfield. He's been through a lot in the NFL. Him and his wife recently donated, I think, like close to $20,000 to a high school down there in Florida to give them new helmets and shoulder pads so they could continue their football seasons. Respect. Again, the way it's looking, NFC South is going to come down to the Buccaneers. The division will come down to the Buccaneers and the rebirth of Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. But let's talk about the Buccaneers first. When you have weapons like Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans on offense, and you got Caden Oden, and you got freaking Ricadier White, you got all the weapons of the world at your disposal, like the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Stones, kind of. You're going to have a good team. It doesn't matter. I mean, all you got to do, and Baker's a good quarterback. It's just being put in the right system, right time, right people, getting everything gelled up. And right now, Tampa's gelling, Cheba's chilling. So I like Tampa. I think again, 2 weeks in or 3 weeks in, we'll see how it plays out. All right, the team everybody's talking about, the New Orleans Saints and the rebirth of Derek Carr. Without Alvin Kamara, Rashad Sheed, Chris Olave, Cam Jordan on defense, Honey Badger, Kool-Aid McKinsley. I mean, I don't think they get as many options. I think it was smart bringing Alvin Kamara, re-signing Alvin Kamara. Kool-Aid was a good draft pick. It was smart letting Michael Thomas go in the offseason. It's a young team, very young, very dynamic. Like I said, they are on a roll. They're on a high. When you start off winning a game by 30 points, winning a season, your first game by 37 points, and then you roll into Dallas, and you put up 44 on Dallas, who is notorious for having one of the best defenses in the league, not in the conference, in the league. And you put up 44 on them. Right now, Stephen A. Smith is the biggest New Orleans Saints fan out there. So, like I said, week 2 again, early. But I think The NFC South comes down to Tampa. Your two top teams there will be Tampa and New Orleans. Final division, NFC West. I know a certain young boy in Tennessee that'll be eager to listen to my views on this first team. From bottom to top, we got the Rams, we got the Niners, we got Cardinals, we got Seahawks. Rams at 0-2. Puka Nacua injury hurts. Next man up mentality now. You've allowed 67 points. You've only scored 30. It looks like from yeah. So Cooper Kupp, like I said, can't forget about Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was your main meal ticket a few years ago. You got DeMarcus Robinson's really good. I mean, hey, you got options, you got weapons. Williams in the backfield is really good. So, I mean, defense is probably what's hurting you a little bit. Again, giving up 67 points. So, maybe look at the defense and see what's going on there. And it's hard for me to believe that 2 injuries have dismantled the 49ers like this has. Christian McCaffrey, who won't be back for I think like 6 weeks. And now you got Deebo Samuel out for an undisclosed amount of time. I mean, 2 injuries have dismantled this team, but they have a great young running back. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Somebody in the comments probably tell me his name. I don't think until they get CMC back. I don't know. I don't know how to rank them yet. I'm not a big 49 hater. I'm not a big 49 believer. I'm like in the middle. It's like a coin toss. It's like them. It was like I said earlier. It depends on who you. If you get them CMC back in time, and you get Deebo back in time, you might be able to salvage your season. But at what point do you go, hey, always next season, rest up next season? So coin flip. Man, Arizona. Kyle Murray finally was able to look past his offensive line and find Marvin Harrison Jr. last week, and they balled out. I mean, that's a sign of things to come. Man, it's going to be an insane ride. Arizona, again, hasn't been good for the past few years, been one of the more mediocre teams. I hate to say that. A lot of drama with Kyle Murray and his Call of Duty addiction. So, we'll see how that plays out. Seattle, Geno Smith. I don't see Seattle winning the NFC West. I think the Rams come back and win it if the 49ers don't get the injury bug gone out of that locker room. Who knows? If they get Deebo back in time and they get CMC back a little bit early, maybe they'll salvage the season. But like I said, we're 2 weeks in. Like I said, the 1-1, Rams are 0-2. Again, the Puka Nacua injury hurt, but again, their defense isn't allowing too many points. So we'll see. I guess again, I think it's pretty cool to sit here and watch, see how things unfold. But I think I'm going to end it there, guys, for this first installment of this sports talk podcast thing. I will come back tomorrow though and do my predictions for Sunday, or I might wake up early and do them early Sunday morning. I'll decide then. I'll decide over the night or something like that. So, but I'll be it for the night, guys. Enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend, enjoy some football. Got some good college games going on. Oh, stupid allergies. There's some good college games this weekend. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes in on Clemson and NC State. I think NC State can upset Clemson. You can laugh at me all you want to in the comments. I'm definitely looking forward to the Arch Manning debut for Texas. I don't even know what other games we got what other big games we got this weekend. There's a game tonight, and it's Illinois versus Nebraska. And then you got Ohio versus State versus Marshall. Ohio should probably win that one. Iowa should win theirs. LSU should beat UCLA. So, well, I might watch the Notre Dame game, but we'll see. Like I said, if you want me to come back, recap some college that night from the afternoon games, let me know. Comment, like this video. So, anyways, guys, I'll see you later. Until we come back to this sports podcast thing. Peace.